There's a reason some people rise while others stay stuck. It's not luck. It's not intelligence. It's not talent. It's habits. Mentally strong people don't wait for the right moment, the perfect conditions, or permission from the world. They create their own momentum, and it all starts with the way they train their minds. There's a moment in everyone's life when they hit a wall, a failure, a rejection, a massive setback that knocks the wind out of them. And in that moment, there are only two choices: stay down or rise. That's it. That's the defining moment where mentally strong people separate themselves from the rest. They don't just get back up, they come back stronger, wiser, and more unstoppable than before. Most people take failure personally. They see it as proof that they're not good enough, not talented enough, not worthy. But here's the truth. Failure is feedback. That's all it is. It's not a stop sign. It's a course correction. It's life saying, not this way, adjust, grow, and try again. The problem is, most people never get to that second part. They hit resistance, they feel pain, and they stop. They tell themselves, maybe this isn't for me. And that one sentence destroys more dreams than anything else. Because the strongest people in the world aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who refuse to stay down. Think about a child learning to walk. They don't take one step, fall, and say, well, I guess I'm just not meant to walk. No, they fall, they get up, they try again, and again, and again, until one day they're running. Somewhere along the way, adults forget this. They start believing that failure is permanent, that if something doesn't work out the first time, it never will. That's a lie. Every great success story is built on failure. Every champion, every leader, every game changer has fallen flat on their face at some point. The difference is they didn't let it define them. They used it as fuel. So how do you do that? How do you take failure and turn it into power? First, you have to reframe it. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this teaching me? That one shift changes everything, because when you stop seeing setbacks as punishments and start seeing them as lessons, you take back control. You stop feeling like a victim and you start acting like the person in charge of your own destiny. Second, you need to build emotional muscle. Just like your body gets stronger by lifting heavier weights, your mind gets stronger every time you push through difficulty. The more times you face failure and get back up, the more resilient you become. It's like developing a callus. At first, it's painful, but over time, that pain turns into strength. Third, you have to develop an obsession with growth. Strong people don't just want to win, they want to get better. And sometimes, losing is the best teacher. If you fail and immediately ask, how can I improve? You will always come back stronger. It's the people who ignore the lesson and quit who stay stuck. Look at some of the greatest success stories in history. Walt Disney was told he lacked creativity. Oprah was fired from her first TV job. Steve Jobs was kicked out of his own company. If they had let those failures define them, we wouldn't even know their names. But they didn't. They used every setback as motivation to prove themselves. And in doing so, they created legacies. Now, what about you? What setback have you let define you? What failure have you allowed to stop you? Because right now you have a choice. You can keep telling yourself the same story about why things didn't work out, or you can decide right here, right now, that this is just the beginning, that this setback is not the end of your story, but the chapter before the breakthrough. Strength isn't built in comfort. It's built in the moments when everything feels like it's falling apart and you make the decision to rise anyway. So make that decision. Don't just get up stronger. Step forward with more determination than ever before, because the only way to truly fail is to quit. And that is not who you are. There's a simple truth about mentally strong people. They don't wait for life to happen to them. They take control. They don't make excuses. They don't sit around hoping things will change, and they don't waste energy on things that don't serve them. They master their mindset, and they turn setbacks into fuel. Because life will test you. It will throw obstacles in your path, challenge your beliefs, and push you to your limits. But the people who succeed, the ones who truly break through, are the ones who train their minds to see opportunity where others see failure. Everything starts in your mind. If you don't control your thoughts will control you. Most people go through life carrying the weight of self-doubt, fear, and hesitation. They listen to that little voice that says, I'm not good enough. I don't have what it takes. But that voice is a lie. It's nothing more than conditioning. Years of limiting beliefs picked up from society, from failures, from other people's doubts projected onto you. And unless you decide to rewrite that story, it will run your life. Mentally strong people don't allow negative thoughts to dictate their actions. They catch themselves when fear creeps in. They replace self-doubt with certainty. They program their minds the same way an athlete trains their body daily, with discipline, with intensity. Because what you focus on expands. Focus on problems, and they multiply. Focus on solutions, and suddenly, doors open where walls once stood. That's not luck. That's training your mind to see possibilities instead of roadblocks. But here's the key. Mindset alone is not enough. You can sit around thinking positive thoughts all day, but if you don't take action, nothing changes. That's where setbacks come in. See, most people believe failure is the end. That if something doesn't work out, it's proof they weren't meant for it. But that's the biggest lie of all. Every single person who has ever achieved greatness has faced failure. The only difference? They used it as a stepping stone instead of a stopping point. Think about this. Every time you fail, you're learning. You're gathering information, refining your approach, getting better. Strong people don't let setbacks define them. They use them as fuel. Instead of saying, I failed, they say, I learned. Instead of saying, I'm not good enough, they say, I'm getting stronger. That one shift changes everything. Because when you stop fearing failure, you start taking massive action. And action is the key to every breakthrough. There's a reason some people succeed no matter what life throws at them. It's not luck. It's not talent. It's the habits they build, the mindset they train, and the way they handle setbacks. Mentally strong people don't wait for life to be easy. They don't sit around hoping things will get better. They take control. They decide that no matter what happens, they will keep moving forward. Because the truth is, success is never about what happens to you. It's about how you respond. It all starts in the mind. Most people let their thoughts control them. They get stuck in fear, doubt, and hesitation. They listen to that voice that says, I'm not good enough, I don't have what it takes. And every time they listen, they give their power away. But strong people don't allow that voice to run their lives. They take charge. They train their minds the same way an athlete trains their body. They condition themselves to think differently, to see opportunity where others see obstacles. Because your thoughts shape your actions, and your actions shape your results. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. Mindset alone isn't enough. You can think all the positive thoughts in the world, but if you don't take action, nothing changes. That's why mentally strong people don't just believe in themselves. They back it up with massive action. They don't sit around waiting for the perfect moment. They don't wait until they feel ready. They move. They take the first step, even when they're scared, even when they're uncertain, even when they don't have all the answers. Because action creates momentum, and momentum creates results. Most people spend their lives avoiding discomfort. They want the results, but they don't want the struggle. They want the success, but they don't want the setbacks that come with it. But that's not how growth works. Mentally strong people understand that pain is part of the process. They don't run from it. They lean into it. They know that the moment they step outside their comfort zone is the moment they step into their power. About the greatest athletes, the most successful entrepreneurs, the leaders who change the world. They don't get there by playing it safe. They push themselves beyond what's comfortable. They do the things most people aren't willing to do. They wake up early. They put in the work. They take risks. They embrace failure. Because they understand that every setback is an opportunity to grow, to sharpen their skills, to build resilience. So ask yourself, what are you avoiding? What fear is holding you back? What story have you been telling yourself about why you can't succeed? Because right now, you have a choice. You can keep playing small, letting doubt and fear control your life. Or you can step up. You can decide right now that you are stronger than your excuses, bigger than your failures, and more powerful than your past. This is your moment. Not tomorrow, not next week. Now, because the people who win in life are the ones who stop waiting and start moving. The ones who take control of their thoughts, turn setbacks into fuel, and embrace discomfort as the price of greatness. The only question is, are you ready to step up? And here's the truth. When you take action, you will fail. You will make mistakes. You will face setbacks. Most people take failure as a sign to stop. They think it means they aren't meant for something. But the strongest people in the world, They don't see failure as the end. They see it as a lesson. They take every setback, every rejection, every obstacle, and they use it as fuel. They don't say, I failed. They say, I learned. And because of that mindset, they come back stronger every time. The difference between people who succeed and people who don't isn't that one never fails. It's that one never quits. Every time you get knocked down, you have a choice. You can stay down or you can rise. You can let failure define you or you can let it refine you. The strongest people choose to rise. They take control of their response. They don't waste time feeling sorry for themselves. They don't blame circumstances, the economy, or other people. They look in the mirror and take full responsibility for their future. But here's the part most people miss. Success isn't just about pushing forward. It's about knowing where to put your focus. Most people waste their energy on things that don't matter. They focus on negativity, on problems, on things they can't control. Strong people don't do that. They get laser focused on their mission. They ask themselves every day, is this bringing me closer to my goal or is it a distraction? If it's a distraction, they cut it out. Because every ounce of energy spent on negativity is energy stolen from progress. When you stay focused, when you stop giving power to distractions, you start seeing results faster than ever before. Because success isn't about doing 1,000 things. It's about doing the right things over and over until they become second nature. It's about showing up every day, even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it, even when no one is watching. That's the difference. That's what separates the people who talk about success from the people who actually achieve it. The best part, this isn't something you're born with. This isn't something only a few people get. Strength is a habit. Discipline is a habit. Success is a habit, and you can build it. You can train yourself to think differently, to act differently, to show up in a way that forces success to happen. But it starts with a decision. The decision to stop making excuses. The decision to stop waiting. The decision to take control, to take action, and to refuse to let setbacks define you. Because life will test you. It will push you, challenge you, and knock you down. But in those moments, you have a choice. Will you let it break you, or will you use it to make you stronger? The people who succeed don't have fewer problems than you. They don't have an easier path. They have a different mindset, a different level of focus, and an unshakable commitment to rising no matter what. And you have that same power within you. The only question is, will you use it? There's a reason some people push through any obstacle while others get stuck. It's not because they have better opportunities, more talent, or fewer problems. It's because of the habits they've built, the way they train their mind, the way they handle setbacks, the way they stay focused when the rest of the world gets distracted. Strength isn't something you're born with. It's something you develop. And if you want to break through in life, you need to commit to becoming mentally unstoppable. It all starts with your mindset. Most people don't realize how much their own thoughts are holding them back. They wake up every day carrying the weight of self-doubt, fear, and hesitation. They tell themselves stories about why they can't, why they're not good enough, why success is for other people. But mentally strong people don't let those thoughts control them. They take charge. They reprogram their minds the same way an athlete trains their body daily, with discipline, with intensity. Because if you don't take control of your thoughts will control you. And the truth is, your life is a reflection of what you focus on. If you focus on excuses, on problems, on all the reasons something won't work, that's exactly what you'll experience. But if you focus on solutions, on possibilities, on taking action, everything changes, and action is the key. Most people sit around waiting for the right moment, the perfect opportunity, for everything to feel comfortable before they start. But that moment never comes, because growth isn't comfortable. Strong people understand this. They don't wait until they feel ready. They move. They take the first step even when they're scared, even when they're uncertain, even when they don't know exactly how things will work out. Because action builds momentum, and momentum creates results. If you're stuck, if you feel like you've been waiting too long to make a change, this is your wake-up call. Stop overthinking. Stop doubting. Stop waiting. Take the first step and figure out the rest as you go. Now here's the reality. The moment you start taking action, you will face resistance. You will fail. You will make mistakes. You will hit roadblocks. And most people take that as a sign to stop. They think failure means they aren't good enough. But the strongest people in the world, They see failure differently. They use it as fuel. They don't say, I failed. They say, I learned. They don't see setbacks as the end. They see them as feedback. Every mistake, every rejection, every obstacle is an opportunity to adjust, to improve, to get better. And because they refuse to quit, they come back stronger every time. But here's where most people go wrong. They let distractions pull them away from their mission. They focus on negativity, on other people's opinions, on things they can't control. Strong people don't do that. They protect their energy. They get laser focused on their goals and eliminate anything that doesn't move them forward. Because every minute spent on negativity is a minute stolen from your success. You have to ask yourself daily, is this bringing me closer to my goals, or is it a distraction? And if it's a distraction, let it go. When you stop wasting energy on things that don't serve you, you move faster, you see results quicker, and you feel unstoppable. And here's the final piece: discomfort. Most people spend their whole lives avoiding it. They want success, but they don't want to struggle for it. They want growth, but they don't want to be uncomfortable. But that's not how life works. Every great achievement comes with a price. The strongest people don't run from discomfort. They seek it out. They push themselves beyond what feels easy because they know that on the other side of pain is their next level. The moment you embrace discomfort instead of avoiding it, you become unstoppable. So ask yourself, are you waiting for life to change, or are you ready to take control? Because nothing is stopping you except the limits you've placed on yourself. The people who win in life aren't the ones who had it easy. They're the ones who trained their minds, took massive action, refused to quit, and stayed focused on their vision no matter what. That's the difference. That's what separates those who talk about success from those who actually achieve it. And if you're willing to step up, to push past your doubts, to take action, even when it's hard, there's nothing that can stop you. The only question is, will you? At the end of the day, everything comes down to one decision. Will you take control of your life, or will you let circumstances, fear, and doubt control you? Because life is going to test you. It's going to throw challenges your way, knock you down, and push you to your limits. But in those moments, you have a choice. You can stay down, make excuses, and settle for less. Or you can rise. You can decide that no setback, no failure, no obstacle will define you. Mentally strong people don't wait for life to be easy. They don't wait until they feel ready. They train their minds, they take massive action, they use setbacks as fuel, and they stay focused no matter what. They embrace discomfort, knowing that's where real growth happens. And because they refuse to quit, because they refuse to let fear stop them, they achieve things most people only dream of. And the best part, this isn't something reserved for a select few. This power is in you, right now, but no one can activate it for you. You have to make the decision to step up, to stop waiting, to commit to being the strongest, most unstoppable version of yourself, because the only thing standing between you and the life you want is you. So decide, not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Step into your power, take control, and make it happen.